Hello all, I am the Holland Phantom, and for today's video we're going to be having a live battle from the 2008 format. On one side, we've got the Glaceon Level X deck as used by Juntunen, a top 8 Worlds competitor of the 2008 World Championships, going up against the Garchomp deck, as used by K_Dymo on Twitter. So we'll see which of these two decks can take the victory today. But before we begin, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel and to my Twitter account, at Holland_Phantom, so you don't miss out on any new Pokemon TCG content. And now with that out of the way, let's get into the battle! And here we go, the battle has started, with both players flipping over their starting Pokemon. On the Glaceon side, we've got Absol as the active Pokemon, and on the Garchomp side, we've got Chatot as the active Pokemon with the Gible on the bench. The Garchomp side is going first, attaching a Psychic Energy to the benched Gible, and then attacking with Mimic. It's a free attack to let the player shuffle away their entire hand to draw the same number of cards as their opponent has. That's 6 cards drawn. That's going to be it for the first player's turn. Now over to the Glaceon side. A Call Energy comes down to the active Absol, followed by a supporter Castaway. Now the player can search their deck for up to 3 cards. There we see a Cessation Crystal, a basic Water Energy, and Celio's Network coming into the player's hand. And as long as they have the Call Energy in play, they can search their deck for more basic Pokemon. Yeah, there's the Call Energy effect being activated. And now the player can search out an Eevee and a Baltoy to put onto their bench. Although using the ability of the Call Energy does end the player's turn, so it's kind of like an attack. So now the turn switches back over to the other side. The player activates a Rare Candy to evolve Gible straight into Garchomp. Now it's going to be the main attacker of the deck. And then Garchomp gets the Fighting type energy. And now the player's going to be activating Felicity's Drawing, discarding a Fire Energy and a Dusknoir from the hand to draw 4 cards out of the deck. Okay, let's see what they got. Do they have any more Pokemon to put down? Yeah, there we go. Baltoy also comes down for the Garchomp player. And there's going to be another Mimic attack. Once again, shuffling away the hand to draw some more cards. Alright, there we see the cards being drawn. And now the turn's going to be passing back over to the Glaceon side. Did they get any evolutions for this turn? Yes, they do. The Eevee evolves into Glaceon, and so does a Baltoy, evolves into Claydol now. Glaceon gets a Water Energy to start powering it up, and the player activates Team Galactic's Marsh to draw 2 cards out of the deck, and now they can choose 1 card out of their opponent's hand to put to the bottom of their deck. Okay, there's a chosen card going to the bottom. And here we see Claydol's ability activating Cosmic Power, putting up to 2 cards from the player's hand to the bottom of the deck, and now they can draw until they have 6 cards. There's the attack. Baleful Wind, once again picking some cards out of the opponent's hand. It's going to be the Premier Ball, discarding it this time. And because the player chose a trainer card to discard, they could discard a second one in a row, which is the Lightning Energy that time. So 3 cards from the opponent's hand just get taken away this turn. Okay, on the Garchomp side, the Baltoy evolves into Claydol now. And the supporter for the turn is going to be Roseanne's Research, searching the deck for Gible and Metal Energy. So with these 2 cards, Gible should be coming down to the bench, and the Garchomp should be fully powered up to start attacking. And now Claydol's going to be activating the ability for the Garchomp side to draw some more cards out of the deck. And we should be seeing the first KO pretty soon. Garchomp does have the Pokebody called Rainbow Scale, so if the opposing Pokemon has any weaknesses to any of the energy cards that Garchomp has, its attacks do 40 more damage. And as we can see, Absol is weak to Fighting type Pokemon. And the Fighting type energy on Garchomp boosts the attack power of Dragon Fang to 110 damage, taking an easy 1-hit KO. Now Garchomp has taken the lead. Okay, Claydol comes up into the active spot for the Glaceon side. And then Glaceon gets a second Water Energy, followed by Claydol's ability to draw some more cards out of the deck. And now the player activates Energy Removal 2, flipping a coin, and it is heads. And they're going to be discarding the Metal Energy off of the Garchomp, as Glaceon is weak to Metal-type Pokemon. Okay, the next card played is going to be the Castaway, searching for Cessation Crystal, Water Energy, and BB Search this time to add to the player's hand. So with this third energy, the Glaceon should be fully powered up on the following turn. Okay, no other cards are played. The player passes their turn. And on the Garchomp side, let's see what they can do. The benched Gible evolves into Gabite, and the Lightning Energy comes down to the active Garchomp. And now the supporter for the turn is going to be Celio's Network to search the deck for any Pokemon. And it's going to be another Garchomp now. So this should be enough to evolve this Gabite on the following turn. Oh, but here we see another Gibble coming down to the bench, followed by Rare Candy Auction. Never mind, the Garchomp is going to be for the new Pokemon. So it's 2 Garchomp in place so far. Once again, there's Claydol's ability to draw some more cards out of the deck. And let's see if they have the level X just yet. No, but they can attack right away. Dragon Fang, hitting for 70 damage. It's not enough to take the KO, as Garchomp doesn't have any Grass-type energies to hit Claydol for weakness. And on the Glaceon side, another Eevee comes down to the bench, and the player activates BB Search to swap 1 card from their hand for any Pokemon from the deck, and the chosen card is going to be the Glaceon level X now. It's the main attacker of this deck. A third Water Energy comes down to the Glaceon now. And now Claydol activates his ability to draw 3 cards out of the deck now. And the player has to start setting up another attacker as quickly as possible. Okay, there we see another Absol coming down to the bench, and there's a pass of the turn. Still no attacks coming through from the Glaceon side. Back over to the Garchomp side. The bench Garchomp now gets a Darkness Energy, followed by BB Search of their own to swap 1 card from their hand for any Pokemon from the deck. And the chosen one is going to be the 3rd Garchomp to evolve the Gabite now. That's all 3 Garchomp in play. And then we see Claydol's ability once again to draw some more cards. And they should be getting their 2nd KO pretty soon. Yeah, there's the Dragon Fang taking the KO against Claydol. That is 2 prizes taken by Garchomp. And now Glaceon finally comes into the active spot. Although the player is 2 prizes behind so far. There we see Glaceon leveling up into its level X form, and now Water Energy comes down to the benched Eevee now. There's another Castaway. Once again, searching the deck for 3 more cards. There's the next Cessation Crystal, Celio's Network, and Water Energy. So with the Celio's Network, the player should be able to find another Glaceon to evolve the bench Eevee on the following turn. And there's Cessation Crystal coming down. As long as it's attached to the active Pokemon, no Pokepowers or Pokebodies can be activated. And there's Avalanche hitting for 70 damage and also hits for 20 damage to every Pokemon on the bench on the opponent's side. Okay, let's see what the Garchomp player can do. A Psychic Energy comes down to the benched Garchomp, followed by Roseanne's Research. Searching the deck for 2 more cards once again. The first one is going to be a Psychic Energy, and the second is going to be a Rotom. And that's going to be it for card searches, I believe. They can't use their Claydol to draw some more cards because of the Cessation Crystal. And now Garchomp attacks with Dragon Fang, hitting for 70 damage. Glaceon has not just 30 HP remaining. Although Glaceon should be able to take the KO on the following turn against his Garchomp. But first, there we see a Water Energy come down to the benched Eevee, followed by Celio's Network to search the deck for any Pokemon. And yes, there we see the 2nd Glaceon coming down. Okay, there's the next Avalanche, taking the KO against the active Garchomp. Oh, and the coin flip is going to be tails that time, so no damage is spread to the bench. And now Glaceon takes their first prize. Chatot comes up into the active spot for the Garchomp player. And another Psychic Energy comes down to the benched Garchomp, so it's fully powered up. And that's enough energy to take the next KO. Oh, but now the player activates her Premier Ball to search the deck for the Garchomp level X now. So we're going to be seeing the level up. Yeah, there it is. The active Garchomp levels up into its level X form. So it has a new Pokepower, a new attack, but it can still use its old attack if it wants to, which it does. Dragon Fang to take the KO against Glaceon. That is 3 prizes taken already. Garchomp has taken a really big lead. Together we see the next Glaceon coming into the active spot now. It still needs 1 more energy to be fully powered up. And yes, there it is. Call Energy comes down. But does the player have the Glaceon level X? Not yet, but there's a Cessation Crystal coming down, followed by Jirachi EX coming down to the bench. And there's Team Galactic's Wager. And now both players have to shuffle away their hands and then play a game of rock, paper, scissors. Let's see what's going to happen. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, shoot. And, alright, scissors beats paper. It means the Glaceon player draws 6 cards, while the Garchomp player only draws 3. And let's see what they got. Oh, they got lucky. They drew into their next Glaceon level X. Okay, there's the Avalanche attack. Hits for 70 damage. But they got another Tails on it, so it's still not spreading any damage to the bench. Okay, back over to the Garchomp side now. There's Felicity's drawing. They discard a Dusknoir from the hand to draw 3 cards from the deck. And I believe that's already both of the Dusknoir in the deck discarded. And there's the attack. It's going to be Restore that time. It's a free attack. And lets the player get back one of their discarded Pokemon to put back onto their bench. And it also gets 3 energy attached to it. And the chosen Pokemon is going to be a Garchomp. It doesn't have to be a basic Pokemon to come back down. So a brand new Garchomp comes back down into the bench, and it's fully powered up. Also important to note that this new Garchomp does have the Metal Energy, so it can hit for weakness with its Rainbow Scale Pokebody. Okay, on the Glaceon side, the player activates Island Hermit to flip over 2 of their prize cards, and now they can draw 2 cards out of the deck. And then we see Night Maintenance to search the discard pile for up to 3 cards to shuffle back into the deck. And the chosen cards are going to be a Water Energy, the Glaceon, and the Glaceon Level X. Just to recycle them for a future turn now. Although they still need another Eevee on the bench to evolve it. A Psychic Energy comes down to the bench, Jirachi EX. And there's the next Avalanche attack to take the KO against Garchomp. And that is another Tails on Avalanche. A lot of Tails in a row. Although the player does take their second prize now. So it's going to be 4-3 prizes. Garchomp is still in the lead. The Chatot comes back into the active spot now. It's got a free retreat cost to act as a pivot. And now the player activates Felicity's drawing, discarding the Duskull. And now they can draw 3 cards from the deck. Now Chatot retreats to promote Garchomp. And there's a Windstorm. Windstorm gets rid of the Cessation Crystal, meaning that Garchomp's Pokebody Rainbow Scale is now active, so they can take the one-hit KO against its Glaceon. There's the attack, Dragon Fang, taking the KO against Glaceon and taking the 4th prize of the game. And now Glaceon is really far behind. They don't have another Glaceon set up. The Jirachi EX comes into the active spot, and there we see another Eevee coming down to the bench. It does need a couple turns to be fully powered up, though. And a Multi-Energy comes down to the active Jirachi, followed by the supporter Roseanne's Research. Now the player can search the deck for up to 2 basic energy or basic Pokemon. And the 2 chosen cards are going to be 2 Water Energies. No more cards are played. There's the attack. It's going to be Super Psybolt, hitting for 50 damage. Also forgot to explain, Jirachi does have a Pokebody called Starlight. If their opponent has any EX or Stage 2 Pokemon, Jirachi's attacks cost 1 colorless energy less. So Jirachi just needs 2 attack to use its Super Psybolt. Okay, on the Garchomp side, the player activates Celio's Network to search the deck for... I believe it was nothing. They failed to search to draw some more cards with Cosmic Power. And there's the attack, Dragon Fang, hitting for 70 damage. So Jirachi's down to just 20 HP remaining. If this Jirachi is KO'd, it does give up 2 prizes, and Garchomp will win this game. So the player has to get this Jirachi out of the active spot. A Water Energy comes down to the bench Eevee now, and the player activates BB Search to search the deck for Glaceon to evolve the Eevee now. It does need 3 more energy to be fully powered up, though. Okay, Jirachi's going to be paying the retreat cost now to go back to the bench, and the player promotes Absol now. Absol can't deal any damage, but it can stall for a turn. Okay, back over to the Garchomp side now. A Psychic Energy comes down to the benched Garchomp, and the player activates another Cosmic Power. Okay, they're going to be drawing some more cards out of the deck, and there's a Dragon Fang, hitting for the one-hit KO, and now Garchomp is down to just 1 prize remaining. As long as they can take the KO against anything, they will win this game. Glaceon comes into the active spot now. It gets a second Water Energy. But does the player have the level X? Not yet, but there's the Cessation Crystal. There's Team Galactic's Marsh to draw 2 cards out of the deck. They put 1 card from the opponent's hand to the bottom of their deck. And did they get the Glaceon level X yet? Actually, even if they did, it can't attack because it doesn't have 3 energy yet. But there's an energy removal too. And the coin flip is heads. So the player gets rid of the metal energy off the Garchomp, so it cannot hit for weakness. There's the attack. It's going to be Snow Cloak, hitting for 30 damage. And here's the coin flip, and it is heads. So because the Snow Cloak did get the heads on the coin flip, Glaceon cannot be damaged on this turn. So it's a really good way to stall out the turn while also dealing some damage. Okay, on the Garchomp side, Darkness Energy comes onto the bench Garchomp now. The active one retreats to promote Chatot. And that might be it. Yeah, that's going to be it. Claydol cannot activate its ability because of the Cessation Crystal. And on the Glaceon side, Glaceon gets multi-energy, so it's fully powered up. And there's another Team Galactic's Mars, drawing 2 more cards out of the deck. Taking 1 more card out of the opponent's hand. Okay, there we go. Did they get the level X? Yes, they did. There's the next Glaceon level X finally coming down, followed by energy removal 2. There's the coin flip. And it's another heads. Gets rid of the darkness energy off one of the Garchomp on the bench. And there's another energy removal 2. Here's another coin flip. Oh, but that one's tails. It does nothing. Okay, they managed to get rid of at least 1 energy this turn. And there's the attack. It's going to be Avalanche to take the KO against Chatot. And there's another tails for Avalanche. I believe that's, what, 4 tails for Avalanche so far? Okay, they did take another prize, though, so it's 3 prizes to 1. Okay, on the Garchomp side, the player activates another Premier Ball, and now they can search their discard pile for the Garchomp level X, which comes back into the player's hand to level up their... I don't think that's the right move. That one has a lot of damage on it, and looks like the player agrees. Okay, no. They did not fully commit to that play, so they can take it back. There we go. And now they retreat their heavily damaged Garchomp to promote the one with only 20 damage on it, and now that one levels up. Oh, the player doesn't have a 3rd energy to use the Dragon Fang, but they can use Restore to bring back the KO'd Garchomp back onto the bench. And now it's going to be getting Metal Energy and 2 Darkness Energy, so this new Garchomp is fully powered up now. Okay, now over to the Glaceon side once again. No cards are played, going straight for the attack. It's going to be the Avalanche. Another tails. 5 tails in a row for Avalanche. Okay, on the Garchomp side, no cards are played either. They just go for another Restore, this time getting back the Dusknoir with 2 Psychic Energies and the Lightning Energy. They're just loading up their bench with as many Stage 2 Pokemon as they can. Okay, on the Glaceon side, Call Energy comes onto the Jirachi, and there's the Avalanche to take the KO against Garchomp, and the player finally gets heads on it to spread 20 damage to every Pokemon on the bench. So Glaceon is down to just 2 more prizes, although Garchomp is still in the lead with 1 prize remaining. Okay, the next Garchomp comes into the active spot. Now it does have the Metal Energy. If the player has a Windstorm in hand, they can win this game. Oh, but they didn't, so Dragon Fang can only hit for 70 damage this turn. Okay, back over to the Glaceon side. Glaceon is down to just 30 HP remaining. They have to find a way to stall out a couple more turns. So they're going to be using the Snow Cloak attack from their base form. And there's the coin flip. And it's going to be heads. So because Snow Cloak got the heads, Glaceon cannot be damaged during this turn, buying the player another turn to stay in the game. Let's see what they can do with it. Okay, the bench Garchomp now gets a 3rd energy, so all 3 Pokemon are fully powered up. With the exception of the Claydol, I guess, but that's not an attacking Pokemon. And now the player activates Team Galactic's Wager, once again shuffling away both players' hands, to play another game of rock, paper, scissors. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, shoot! And this time it's going to be the Garchomp player that wins it. They get to draw 6 cards, while the Glaceon player only draws 3. Although, like I said earlier, they still can't attack because of the Snow Cloak, so they just pass their turn. Now on the Glaceon side, there's Team Galactic's Mars to draw 2 more cards out of the deck. Take 1 card out of the opponent's hand. They have to start setting up another attacker on the bench, although I don't think they have any left in the deck. Okay, there we see a Crystal Beach coming down as a stadium, although it doesn't do anything for either player. And there's another Snow Cloak hitting once again for 30 damage. And here's the coin flip, and it is Another heads! Okay, now they're getting lucky with the coin flips. So once again, Glaceon is stalling out another turn. It cannot be damaged. Okay, on the Garchomp side, the player activates Roseanne's Research to search their deck for up to 2 basic Pokemon or basic energy cards. There we see a Rotom being chosen. Anything else? No, it's going to be just the Rotom. And once again, they pass. They cannot attack. And on the Glaceon side, there's Island Hermit flipping over the last 2 prize cards. And it's a Crystal Beach and a Baltoy. And now the player draws 2 cards out of their deck. And still no more cards are played. They don't have any more Pokemon to attack with. So they're going to be going for another Snow Cloak to hit for another 30 damage. There's a coin flip. Oh, but it's finally Tails! So Glaceon is no longer protected by the Snow Cloak, which means it will be getting KO'd on the following turn. Okay, now the player activates 2+ powers to take the final KO. There's the Dragon Fang to take the final prize of the game. Tried your best, Glaceon. And there's the handshake. Garchomp is your winner. So what did you guys think of that battle? Let me know down in the comments below. And be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and share this video to help this channel grow and reach new viewers. Thanks a lot for watching, and until next time, this is the Holland Phantom logging out.